Rates low just to help the White House politically. Well, that's what Donald Trump says. In fact, he is telling the Hill the reason they're keeping the interest rates down is Obama doesn't want to have a recession/depression during his administration. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Allen West says the administration is pressuring the Fed to keep rates down. Colonel, I got to tell you, that's a major charge.
Well, it's good to be with you, Charles, but let's be very honest. One of the things that the Federal Reserve is doing with their monetary policy, we're on quantitative easing 3.5. We've kept these interest rates artificially low. We're printing more money because of the failing fiscal policies of the Obama administration. Our unemployment rate is nowhere near 5.1 or 5.2% if you have a workforce participation rate that is 62.4%, lowest in about 40 years. So you have to do those things that try to create this facade of a functioning economy. We continue to hear about how great the numbers are on Wall Street, but what has happened is Wall Street has become addicted to the crack cocaine that the Federal Reserve is pumping to them, which is these low interest rates.
And Colonel West, I guess we should go back in history and underscore that what happened, I think, when the senior Bush was running, he had amazing poll numbers. The Fed started raising rates. The market came down, and he lost the election. A lot of Republicans say that was the Fed. They made him lose the election. And since then, there's been this unwritten rule that the Fed will not mess with rates during an election year. And you're seeing that at play right now.
Well, I think what we need to understand is, do we want to have a free market, free opportunity economy, or do we want to have this manipulated economy by the Federal Reserve, which it seems that no one has any control under? If you go back and look at the Constitution, monetary policy should fall under Article 1, Section 8 to the Congress of the United States of America. I think it's Section 8 to the Congress of the United States of America, but it's been taken away from them. So you follow this a lot more closely than I do, but I will tell you that it seems that a bubble is being created, that if we did have a strong economy, that if we were recovering, we would be able to take a 1 to 2% increase in these interest rates, but that's not what is happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's awkward when the Fed and the Federal Reserve and the Obama administration take these victory laps on the economy and yet are too afraid to move 25 basis points on interest rates. And also, to your point, I think it was created in 1918 ostensibly to smooth out our economy so we wouldn't have these cycles. And since then, we've had unlimited recessions, the Great Depression. Could there ever be a move, a legitimate move in Washington, D.C., Congress and the White House to finally get rid of the Federal Reserve, which I think is there only to protect the ultra-wealthy, the 1% of the 1%?
Well, I think let's go back and look at the original reason why the Federal Reserve was created, and at least let's make sure that it operates in that first proposed charter. But we have seen them now get too deeply into the monetary policy, which is a reflection of the fiscal policy of an administration, and it can be a part of the manipulation of politics in the country. So I think that if we want to have a true free market, free enterprise economy, we should not have these manipulations of the Federal Reserve. And there are a lot of things that should be well and open to the American people that I think are not.
So you think the Federal Reserve should exist, but there should be some sort of major Chinese wall between them and the administration?
Yeah, it has to be, because if not, you start to see not just crony capitalism, but you see crony economics that are creeping into the United States of America. Look, there's a reason why we have corporate inversions, because of the failing tax and regulatory policies. Why aren't corporations and businesses coming back here to the United States of America to help our economy to grow? Why are small businesses not growing and expanding? Because of so many regulations and taxes that are being brought upon them. And you did not hear any of this discussed Tuesday night. But look at Ireland. Ireland just cut its corporate business tax rate from 12% down to 6%. Why should we not look at our 35%? And let's get rid of a lot of these exemptions and deductions that would just have a fair, a flat tax for our corporations and businesses.
I agree. We're the only Western nation that punishes companies for actually selling products all around the world. We can let them sell it, bring that money here, and boost our economy. But I will differ with you on this. I don't think there will ever be the political will to separate the administration's power over the Federal Reserve. It's just too great, and you know, I think we ultimately have to get rid of it. But sir, you're always spot on. I appreciate seeing you, and hopefully get you on my show soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And that should be a responsibility for Congress and not the executive branch.
Absolutely.